voice of electricity. $10 million-volt artificial lightning as produced by General Electric in its research laboratory. This is station W2XAF, an international broadcast station owned and operated by the General Electric Company in Schenectady, New York.
Laura is the face in the misty light, footsteps that you hear down the hall, the laugh that floats on a summer night that you can never quite recall, and you see Laura on a train that is passing through. Those eyes, how familiar they see. She gave her very first kiss to you. That was Laura, but she's only a dream.
This is Nightline, your open door to people and places, and this is Walter O'Keefe. Nightline invites you to listen in on NBC's award-winning science fiction series X-1. Now escape to a world of the future.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus one.
Tonight, Tsylana by James E. Gunn. But first, hear this. Now, X-1. Our story, Tsylana by James E. Gunn.
My name is Norman Blake, statistician first class. At 2:30 p.m. on Monday, October 21st, in the year 2055, I became a deviant. I left my job an hour early. To deviate from the norm was unheard of in a perfectly adjusted society such as ours. Thanks to the great psychologist Kinder, we had a society where everybody's job suited his talents and needs, where children were raised scientifically, and where everyone lived happily on an even keel instead of swinging back and forth from gloom to ecstasy. Then I noticed it, the single flaw in the perfect system.
Come in. Yes, Norm.
Henry, I'd like to talk to you for a moment, privately.
Close the door. It's rather unusual for me to see one of my statisticians privately, but since we're old friends...
Something rather serious has come up.
Oh?
As you know, my duty is to check the computers to make certain there are no deviations.
Yes?
This morning, I ran over the figures for our district. Here is the sheet. The deviation is near the bottom.
1,037 gallons of water purified, 1,037 gallons consumed, 9,328 births, 9,328 deaths. I see nothing wrong so far, Norm.
Read the next item.
One candy bar taken from baby. Well?
But don't you see? A baby can't consent. Therefore, it must have been taken without consent. Henry, that is theft. We haven't had a case of theft in this society for almost 29 years.
I see.
It's got me so upset I can't think of anything else.
You're a little edgy, aren't you?
Well, wouldn't you be if you knew there was an antisocial being walking the streets of your own city?
I don't think I'd quite go to pieces like that. Maybe, well, this is just a suggestion. Maybe you ought to see an analyst. Perhaps it would help you deal with this problem.
I've been analyzed.
How long ago?
8 years.
Well, unless you're prepared to handle this problem, I'd advise you to get some help. Meanwhile, take the rest of the afternoon off.
Off? Deviate from the schedule?
As director, and as an old friend of yours, I order it. I consider you to be in extreme upset.
That's your order?
That's my order.
I must confess that as I went toward the elevator, a line kept running through my head. Norm has departed from the norm. I was doing something unorthodox, and what frightened me was that it amused me. Here I was, leaving work 1 hour early. I was so preoccupied that I stepped into the elevator without noticing that someone was already in it. An invasion of privacy almost unforgivable. He was a small, strange-looking man with short silver hair and thick, round glasses. Oops, I beg your pardon. I didn't really know you were...
Perfectly all right, stranger.
I'll just step out and...
Hold it, brother. You've got troubles, I can see.
Well,
My advice to you is see an analyst. Don't wait another 24 hours.
Thank you for the advice.
That's more than advice, brother. It's a commercial. Here's my card. Andrew C. Rednick, public analyst.
Oh, you're an analyst.
Freelance.
I didn't know there were any.
I'm probably one of the few still practicing. My slogan is, don't kid with your id. If life ain't dandy, come see Andy.
I may be up to see you.
You will, I can tell.
I put on my public face, the mask we wear on the street, and rode home in the proper manner, my arms and hands folded. When I got home, my wife, Nada, was in her room. I signaled on the intercom in case she was, entertaining. She wasn't. She never did. Sometimes I wondered if Nada was quite normal and well-adjusted. Hello, darling.
Is something wrong? Why are you home so early?
I just uncovered a crime wave.
A what?
A crime wave. A theft. Candy. From a baby.
Well, is that serious?
It threatens the entire structure of our society. We have a delicately balanced mechanism here. We're not ready for crime. We don't even know how to catch a criminal.
Well, isn't there an old saying, it takes a thief to catch a thief?
It takes a... Darling, that's it. That's the answer to our problem.
What is?
In order to protect society, I've got to catch the thief. And the only way to do it, obviously, is to become one myself.
You're listening to Tsylana, tonight's attraction on X-1. Now, back to X-1 and Tsylana.
The address on the card was a deserted skyscraper, a pre-analytic building. The elevators were out of order, and I had to climb 29 flights of stairs. Finally, I was in front of a door that read Andrew C. Rednick, Public Analyst. Grin and come in. Mr. Rednick?
It ain't Santa Claus, brother.
Who?
You wouldn't remember. Park your ego. Now, boy, what's your problem?
I've got to do something, and it isn't in my psychological profile.
That's the trouble with this society. Nobody's capable of handling the unexpected.
Are you saying there's an advantage to being unadjusted?
Don't second-guess the analyst, boy. If you mean by advantage, will you be happier? No. But if you mean power, then you've got it. In a country of normal people, the neurotic man is king. You want to be king, boy?
Of course not. I'm perfectly happy and well-adjusted, except for one little problem.
Namely?
I've got to catch a thief.
So?
So I've got to know how a thief thinks and feels, what he does, where he goes.
You mean you want to become neurotic?
Exactly.
This is a rather unorthodox request.
I suppose it is.
I could lose my license if anyone found out.
If you don't do it, it could mean the end of society and civilization.
As bad as that, eh? Very well.
Start at once?
Why not? Sit at my desk while I lie down on the couch and tell you about my childhood.
You lie down? I'm the one that's supposed to lie down.
You forget this is reverse analysis. I'm supposed to make you neurotic, frustrated. Now then, the first thing I remember was an argument between my father and mother.
You were living with your own father and mother? Ooh, how unhygienic. What a nasty situation.
You aren't very good at this sort of thing, are you, boy? You're supposed to listen, not comment. Now then, when I was 27, I perfected analysis and revolutionized society.
What are you talking about? Kinder perfected analysis and revolutionized society. He died.
Don't second-guess the analyst.
You know, I'm beginning to dislike you already.
Fine. We're making progress already. You're beginning to experience dislike. Next, we'll achieve hatred, and then loathing. In 3 weeks, you'll be well on the road to becoming a crook.
Every day for the next week, Rednick lay comfortably on his red leather couch, rambling about his childhood and his problems, while I longed to tell him about my own. I grew more and more repressed, and my disposition became worse and worse. On the 8th day, something happened at the office that made me realize I had to hurry.
Come in.
Henry, it's happened.
What?
The thief has struck again, but this time it's even more serious.
What did he take?
$1 million is missing from the First District Bank.
Great Scott.
We've got to find this thief, Henry. We're doomed if we don't.
Well, maybe he's worked out his repressions. After all, what can a man steal after he's stolen $1 million?
I don't know, but I intend to find out.
Maybe you ought to drop it, Norm.
How can you say a thing like that? It's positively antisocial.
Calm down now. You're all upset again. Why don't you take the day off and go home? Spend some time with that lovely wife of yours. She misses you.
How do you know?
Norm, boy, do I detect a note of jealousy? You'd better watch your step. Jealousy is the forerunner of violence. Are you seeing an analyst, as I suggested?
Yes, I am.
Well, keep at it, boy. You're in bad shape.
I kept at it. By the time the annual status examinations were due, I was a complete wreck. I hated Andrew Rednick with a passion. I was ambitious and jealous. I had even sunk to that basest of all passions. I had fallen in love with my own wife. And still I had not been able to ferret out the thief. He had not struck again.
Ah, you're early, son.
So I'm early.
You'll have to wait. I have another patient.
What?
You'll have to wait. I have another patient in the other room. He'll be leaving in a minute. Just sit down.
Another patient. I could have killed him. Never occurred to me that Andrew C. Rednick would have another patient. After a few moments, a man emerged from the inner office. He was wearing a silver mask or public face, and naturally I couldn't see his features. As I had my own mask on, he didn't see my features either, but I sensed a certain hostility as he brushed by me.
Come in, son.
Who is he?
Take it easy. We don't reveal the names or identities of patients.
I hate him.
You're jealous.
Jealous. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking of quitting the analysis.
Good. This is your last session anyway.
My last session? But it can't be. The annual examinations are coming up tomorrow. I am not ready. I'll be demoted to a menial job.
I doubt it.
I told you I'm not ready. What can I do?
Have you ever thought of cheating?
On the examination? That's horrible. Only a monster could suggest such a thing. What kind of man are you? Who are you, Rednick?
Let me close the door. Now, look through the glass at my sign. You can read it backwards with the door closed.
Andrew Rednick. Rednick backwards. Kinder? You? Oh, it's impossible. He's the founder of our whole society. Besides, he's dead. He died in an accident.
All staged. I just decided to duck out.
Why?
Because, my friend, I found I had created a Frankenstein, a perfect society. It was like paradise, a Garden of Eden. The same silly people, happy, not wanting anything, not going anyplace, and not changing. So I decided to create a little sin and thereby give the creatures change, growth, misery, ecstasy, and free will. In a sense, I made them creative. Well, son, au revoir.
But am I really finished?
You're just beginning. Your frustrations are like rabbits, boy. They just keep breeding. I'm the one who's finished.
He clapped his hat on his head and walked out, leaving me alone in his office. When I walked over to his desk, I found a gun lying on top of it. I put it in my pocket and returned to my office. The next 5 hours were spent in statistically predicting the questions I would be asked on the annual examination and in finding out the answers in advance. Then I went home.
Darling, how did it go?
Nada, take a good look at your husband. See anything different?
Well, I've been noticing a change for the past few weeks.
You're going to notice a much bigger change, sweetheart. Tomorrow, the new appointments will be made based on the results of the annual examination.
Did you do well?
Did I do well? Read this card.
The enclosed card has a magnetic reproduction of your new psychological profile. It indicates you are in the 99th percentile of leadership with the second highest altruism rating ever scored. Therefore, a new position has been created for you. Beginning tomorrow, you will be deputy mayor of the district. Deputy, darling, it's wonderful.
Yes, I dare say it is. Only one thing troubles me.
What's that?
I can't understand how anybody scored higher than I did. I'd counted on becoming mayor. The following day, I reported to the office of the new mayor of our district, the only person who had scored higher than I on the annual examination. I was ushered in promptly. The new mayor was seated behind a huge desk. He wore his public face mask. Mr. Mayor, I'm Norman Blake, the new deputy.
Yes, we've met, you know.
Oh, I'm afraid I
Let
don't...
me remove my public face. There.
Henry Foreman.
I'm amazed you didn't guess sooner.
How?
Quite simple. You and I, dear fellow, have unstable patterns. With me, the first break came the day I took that bar of candy from the baby as I was passing the nursery. My own act frightened me so that I sought an analyst. The same analyst you sought.
Rednick?
Rednick, Kinder, it's all the same.
And you were the thief, and I never...
It takes one to know one, Norm.
You cheated on the exam, too.
Using the computer, just as you did.
Are there, any others like us?
I don't know. We'll find out, though. We're ambitious, you and I. That means we'll be moving up, heading for the governorship, perhaps even the presidency. And then we'll collide with the others, if there are any. As Rednick said, In a world of normal people, the neurotic is king.
The only trouble with that is there can only be one king.
That's right. And only one mayor.
The look he gave me then sent chills up and down my spine. In spite of my high position, I haven't had a moment's peace or relaxation since. Neither, I suspect, has Henry Foreman. There were imbalances in our world which had to lead to the destruction of one or all of us, and we knew it. There was one saying that Rednick Kinder had forgotten to tack up on his wall. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
Fred Collins again, and I'll have another word for you about X-1 in a moment. The attention of the nation is focused on Los Angeles and New York, the cities where two long-awaited World Championship boxing matches will take place. The ears of the nation will be tuned to Cavalcade of Sports on NBC Radio, the only network that will bring you both these championship bouts. Friday night, Archie Moore versus Tony Anthony for the light heavyweight crown. Monday night, Sugar Ray Robinson versus Carmen Basilio for the world's middleweight title. And you'll hear them both direct from ringside only on Cavalcade of Sports on NBC Radio. Yes, Friday night, light heavyweight champ Archie Moore pits his skill and experience against the youth and stamina of Tony Anthony. Monday night, Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the greatest boxers in history, defends his middleweight crown against Carmen Basilio. Two great championship fights, Friday night, Moore versus Anthony, Monday night, Robinson versus Basilio. Both brought to you direct from ringside on Cavalcade of Sports, exclusively on these same NBC radio stations. You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Morning After by Robert Sheckley. What was Pearson doing here? Would he live or die? For the answers to these and other questions, he had to keep tuning in on a hangover. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. X-1 has brought you Tsylana, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by James E. Gunn and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in our cast were Walter Black as Norman Blake, David Ross as Andrew C. Rednick, Adele Ronson as Nada, and Guy Rep as Foreman. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by George Voutsas and is an NBC Radio Network production.
There's excitement in the air at night, and Nightline brings it to you. Hear Nightline with Walter O'Keefe, next on most of these NBC.
I think we've all noticed that cats and dogs are made very nervous by the wind. They look around and wonder where in hell it came from. And I think we human beings have the same feelings at times, especially when we're young. I remember lying in my bed when I was 5 or 6, and hearing the wind roar and whisper around the house. Like ghosts, I thought, like ghosts. So that memory stayed with me, plus the sound of the train far out in the country being blown in by the wind. So when I got into my 20s, it was quite natural that I would summon up the wind and put it into one of my stories.
Okay, honey, I've got it.
The wind began to whisper.
Hello?
And the wind began to roll.
Hello? Who is this?
Hello? Herb?
Oh, it's you, Alan.
Is your wife home, Herb?
Sure, Phyllis is here. What?
Damn!
What's up?
I wanted you to come over tonight.
Alan, we're having
I thought you said your wife was going away. Isn't she going away?
That's next week. She'll be in Ohio for about 9 days. Her mother's sick.
Oh. Next week.
Yeah. Look, Alan, I'll come over then, okay?
Yeah, sure, Herb, sure.
Look, I wish I could come, but, well, you know how it is, company and all. Phyllis would kill me.
I just wish you could come over tonight.
What is it, Alan? Is it the wind again?
Oh, no.
It's a clear night. There's not much wind.
There's enough. Comes in the window and blows the curtains a little bit. Just enough to tell me.
Tell you what?
Whatever it is the winds keep on whispering about. Except it's not really a whisper. It's more of a... Well, I don't know.
Look, Alan, why don't you come and spend the night here?
I've been standing in the door for the past hour, Herb. I can see it building up in the west. There's some clouds there, and I saw one of them.
What? Saw one of them what?
I don't know, kind of rip apart. There's a wind coming, all right.
Well, you just take a nice sleeping tablet, and call me anytime you want to call. Later this evening, if you want.
Anytime?
Hell, what's a friend for?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you what to do. Sit down and get some writing done this evening.
Maybe.
Not maybe. Do it. Get another chapter done on your next travel book. Occupy your mind with something other than this obsession.
What do you mean, obsession?
Herb, you still on the phone?
This...
Who is it?
This preoccupation of yours, the Himalayas, the Valley of the Wind, storms and hurricanes and God knows what.
I might do that. Maybe I will.
Herb!
Alan.
It's okay. Thanks for listening.
Oh, thanks, hell. Get off the line now, you. My wife's calling me to dinner.
The wind began to whisper.
There you are. And don't blame me if it's cold. I called.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, was it him?
Who?
Who? Who is always ringing up, morning, noon, and night? Alan, of course. Alan and his damn winds.
Honey.
Winds that blow up and winds that blow down. Winds that blow hot and winds that blow cold.
Phyllis, listen. He did have a time in the Himalayas.
For heaven's sake, Herb. You don't really believe all that nonsense about what happened in that valley, do you?
That makes a good story.
Sure. What's the matter with men? Climbing around, climbing up things. Why do men climb mountains and scare themselves?
It was snowing. It was snowing.
Was it really?
And raining. Raining. And hailing. And hailing. And blowing all at once in that valley. Alan's told me 12 times. He was pretty high up. Clouds and all. The valley made a noise. The valley made a noise.
Oh, I bet it did.
Like a lot of winds. Like a lot of winds, instead of just one. Winds from all over the world.
He shouldn't have gone there and looked in the first place. You go poking around, and first thing you know, you get ideas. All kinds of crazy, cranky, spooky ideas. The winds are getting angry because you have intruded into their secret hidden world. So angry that they start to follow you. Wherever you go, there they are, just behind you. The winds.
Phyllis, don't joke. He's my best friend.
For pity's sake, it's all so silly.
Well, say what you like, but he's been through a lot. That storm in Bombay later, and the typhoon off New Guinea 2 months after that.
I have no sympathy for a man who continually runs into windstorms and hurricanes and then gets a persecution complex because of it.
And that's hardly fair. What about that time in Cornwall?
Remember that old saying, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good? Sounds like Alan's found just about every ill wind in the world. Don't answer it.
Well, maybe it's important.
It's only Alan. Again.
Sure as hell hope he's okay.
If you want to know about winds, don't rely on the geographers or the meteorologists. If you want to know about winds, consult the writers, the poets, and the prophets. Shakespeare knew about winds. The churlish chiding of the winter's wind. Rough winds that shake the darling buds of May, that blow the earth into the sea or swell the curled waters. And the Bible, too, is full of rushing mighty winds. They have sown the wind, says the prophet, and they shall reap the whirlwind. Which is perhaps what I did when I entered that secret, sacred place among the mountains. Poets write of winds that are like a whetted knife, a torrent of darkness, or a monarch gone mad. Surely all these writers glimpsed what I saw. No. What I heard in that valley in the Himalayas. All these literary references, each one on its own is no more than the slightest leaf-stirring breeze, the merest puff of wind that catches at a gate and makes the unoiled hinges whine. But taken together, from Shelley's Ode to the West Wind to that ancient nursery rhyme about a cradle rocking in the treetops, when the wind blows, well, then they might fill a book or form a tempest. I met a traveler years ago by the shores of the Gulf Sea. A hot wind suddenly whipped salt and sand into our eyes and nostrils, and he turned to me with a strange, haunted look. The substance of the winds, he said, is too thin for human eyes. The written language is too difficult for human minds, and their spoken language mostly too faint for human ears. Not for my ears, though. I can hear their language. Maybe not alone. There was another poet. God knows who, can't remember the name. But I remember what he wrote. Still as they run, they look behind. They hear a voice in every wind. Had he heard them, these voices? Did he hear what I have heard, or what I hear now? What's the point of writing all this down? Nobody's gonna believe me. All that stuff in the past. Now this latest thing. 6 weeks ago, I hear the wind laughing and whispering around the corners of my house. Out here. Just for an hour or so. Not very long, not very loud. Then it went away. I thought I had it licked. I thought it had given up following and trying to get me. But it was just waiting. It came back the next night. It slammed the shutters and kicked sparks out of the chimney. It came back 5 nights in a row, a little stronger each time. When I opened the front door, it came in at me and tried to pull me out. But it wasn't strong enough. Tonight, it is.
Damn.
I told you, don't answer it.
I can't let it ring.
Herb? Herb?
Oh, hello, Alan.
I called earlier. You didn't answer. I thought the phones were out.
No, Alan, it's just that...
No, it doesn't matter. Herb, it's here. It got here.
You're too near the phone. Back up a little.
Listen. You gotta listen.
I'm listening.
I stood in the open door and waited for it. I saw it coming down the highway, shaking all the trees one by one, until it shook the trees just outside the house.
My God, it's him again, isn't it? I can smell his paranoia from here. It must be carried on the wind.
Did you hear me, Herb? The wind dived down towards the door, but I slammed it in his face.
Glad to hear you're feeling better.
I'm not better. What's wrong with you?
He won't be better until he's in a booby hatch.
Is your wife listening?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I know I sound like a fool.
You sound just fine, which is great. So, what do you say I ring you a little later, huh?
Herb? Herb!
Okay, buddy. Bye.
It seems to me some schmuck round here is whistling in the wind.
Winds of the world. Berg, Barra, Brickfielder, Luran, Chinook, snow here from Pacific, across Rocky Mountains, melts foot of snow in minutes. Tesian winds. Dust. Ice-capped blizzards, Caraboran winds, Levante and Mistral, Pamparo, chilling polar air gusting across Argentina, bringing violent thunderstorms. See also hurricanes. Hunting, Bunyardi, Hoopa, hurricanes. Yes, hurricanes and typhoons. Severe tropical storms, yes. Characterized by winds of hurricane force, 64 knots or more. Tropical cyclones have caused many deaths and huge loss of property. Yes, that's what it is. It's a killer out there. Now, the biggest, damnedest prehistoric killer that ever hunted prey. A big, sniffling hound trying to smell me out. Find me. It's trying to get in the windows. But it won't. I had them reinforced. Put new hinges on the doors and bolts. Listen to it out there. No need to worry. Nothing to fear. It's a strong house, this. Strong! They built them strong in the old days. Please ring me, Herb. Please. I feel so alone.
I'll leave you to wipe the dishes. I'm going to get changed. The Stoddards will be here soon.
Sure, honey.
And put some beer in the icebox.
Must ring him. Poor bastard. Come on. Answer, will you?
Yeah?
Alan, I'm on my own. I can talk now. I mean, listen. Do you want to get it off your chest? You'll sleep better.
Sleep? I will
will sleep tonight. It won't let me.
The wind, you mean?
The house is all lighted up, bright. The wind followed me from room to room, looking through all the windows. Then I switched them on. Oh!
What's wrong?
It just snatched off the front screen door.
Alan, listen to me. I wish you'd come over here and spend the night.
I can't. God, I can't leave the house. I can't do anything. I know this wind. It's big, and it's clever. The wind likes to play games, likes to taunt me. It's taking its time with me. It's got all night. No!
What? Alan, what?
Oh! The lights have gone out! The power line just went down. Oh, are you there, Herb?
I'm here.
The wind didn't like all that light in the house, so it tore the power lines down. The telephone will probably go next. Oh, it's a real party. Me and the wind. I tell you.
Got any candles?
No. It just blew them out.
A flashlight, then. You must have a flashlight.
Yeah, I guess so. Somewhere. Just a second.
Alan? Christ, what's going on? Alan? Alan?
I'm back. There was a draft creeping in under the door. It's okay. I blocked it off. Oh, I'm glad you didn't come out, Herb. I wouldn't want you in this mess.
What now?
What are the living room windows? There's a regular gale in the house now, knocking the pictures off the walls. You hear it, Herb? Do you hear it?
I hear it.
It wants me alive. It doesn't dare knock the house down in one fell blow. That'd kill me. It wants me alive, so it can pull me apart, finger by finger.
Alan, the doorbell.
It wants what's inside me. My mind, my brain. It wants my life power, my psychic force, my ego.
The door, Herb! Will you get the door?
It wants intellect.
I have to hang up, Alan. Company.
What? What'd you say?
Call me back in about an hour. Okay, Alan?
Hi there, Ron. Viv.
Phyllis, you look like $1 million.
Oh.
Which is probably exactly the amount he's going to lose at cards tonight.
Come on.
Hi there, guys.
How you doing, old man?
Oh, fine. What's it like out tonight?
Nice, not very chilly. Stars. Why?
Nothing.
This thing, out there and here, it's a great cloud of vapors. Winds. Winds from all over the world. Natural catastrophes. Here. Hurricanes, tornadoes, cyclones, and typhoons. Meghna Estuary near Chittagong, 1876. 7,800 square kilometers flooded. 100,000 people drowned. Haiphong, Vietnam, 1881. 300,000 drowned. Japan, 1934. Moroto typhoon destroys 45,000 houses, kills 3,000 persons. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, 1930. 8,000 killed, 12,000 injured. Galveston, Texas, USA, 1960. 6,000 deaths, $20 million damage. It's all the same wind. That's right. Destroy the evidence. Tear it apart. Rip it to shreds. And blow it away. Something, God knows what, a long time ago gave you a start in the direction of life. I don't know how it happened, but I know what you are. You're part of all those storms I escaped. You followed me from the Himalayas because you didn't want me to know about the Valley of the Winds, where you gather and plan your destruction. I figured it out. I know all your feeding grounds. I know where you are born and where parts of you expire. And that is why you hate me. Me and my books that tell people how to defeat you. Huh? You don't want me preaching anymore, do you? You want to incorporate me in your huge body to give you knowledge, to be on your side. Damn, flashlight.
Your deal, Viv?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's him.
Oh, good God, not again.
Hello?
What's it like at your house?
What do you mean, what's it like?
Has the company come?
Well, hell, yes, it has. But
Talking and playing cards?
Christ, yes, but what that's
Are
got
you
to do with...
smoking your usual 10-cent cigar?
God damn it, yes, but...
Oh, I wish I could be there. I wish I didn't know the things I know. I wish a lot of things.
Are you all right, Alan?
Oh, so far, so good. I'm locked in the kitchen now. Part of the front wall of the house blew in, but I planned my retreat. When the kitchen door gives, I'm heading for the cellar. If I'm lucky, I may hold out there until morning. Oh, it'll have to tear the whole damned house down to get to me. I got a shovel, too. I may dig deeper.
What's that? That sound.
Those are the voices of 12,000 killed by a typhoon, 7,000 killed by a hurricane, 3,000 buried by a cyclone. That's what the wind is. It's a lot of people dead. The wind killed them, took their minds to give itself intelligence, took all their voices and made them into one voice. All those millions of people killed in the past 10,000 years, tortured and run from continent to continent on the backs and in the bellies of monsoons and whirlwinds. Oh, Christ! What a poem you could write about it! That's how the wind gets more intelligent each year. It adds to itself, body by body, life by life.
Alan,
Death
if
by
you
death.
want me to come out there now, I will. I should have come earlier.
No. I wouldn't think of it. Oh, this is a grudge fight. I wouldn't do to have you in it now. I better hang up. Kitchen door looks bad. I have to get in the cellar.
Call me back later?
Yeah, maybe. If I'm lucky. I don't think I'll make it. I slipped away and escaped so many times. But I think it has me now. Yeah. I hope I haven't bothered you too much, Herb.
You haven't bothered anyone, damn it. Call me back.
Yeah, I'll try.
How's Alan? Is he sober?
As you know full well, he's never taken a drink in his life. I should have gone out there hours ago.
But he's called every night for 6 weeks, and you've been out there at least 10 nights to stay with him. You were there just 2 nights ago, for God's sake, and nothing was wrong.
Well, he might hurt himself. He needs help.
Sure sounds like it.
Perhaps you ought to consider a sanatorium.
That's right. Put the booby in the booby hatch and throw the key away.
Phyllis, he's my friend.
You can't always be running after him.
Let's have some coffee. Then I'll call him back, tell him I'll be over first thing in the morning.
Oh, I'll drink to that.
Oh, dear.
That's weird. Something's wrong.
Operator, how may I help you?
I've just dialed the number, 310-278-9102, but I can't seem to get through.
I will try the number for you.
Come on.
I'm sorry, sir. The lines are down in that district. When the lines are repaired, we'll put your call through.
Telephone lines are down. I'm not waiting any longer.
Herb, where are you going?
Oh, Lord.
Well, what the hell are you putting your coat on for? It's past midnight.
Oh, Lord.
Herb!
I've got to get out there. Listen.
Who could that be?
I'll be damned. I'd know that laugh anywhere. It's Alan. He came on over in his car after all. But thank God he made it. Didn't think he'd get through the night, let alone get here.
But there are other voices, too.
Strange.
Herb, don't open the door. Well?
Alan? You out there? Come on, where are you, Alan? Come on now. The wind began to whisper. Oh, my God.
It's not all maybe, you know. On the top of Cairngorm in Scotland, the highest wind speed was measured at 177.2 miles per hour, and that was just before the wind blew the measuring instrument away. In the wind, the part of Herb was played by Vincent Marcello, Alan by Stuart Milligan, and Phyllis by Lisa Ross. The operator was played by Carolyn Strong, Ron by Gerard McDermott, and Viv by Carolyn Jones. The wind was played by David Brooks. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The wind was written by me, Ray Bradbury. Brian Sibley turned my story into the play, and that was directed in London by Adrian Bean. I'm Ray Bradbury, and I'll be back next week with another bizarre tale.
The leaves of brown came tumbling down, remember, in September, in the rain. The sun went out just like a dying ember. That September in the rain. To every word of love I heard you whisper, the raindrops seemed to play a sweet refrain. Though spring is here, to me it's still September. That September in the rain, in the rain, in the rain. It's still September in the rain.